What is the best chip strategy in FPL, you ask? Guys, I'm fairly confident in saying I think I have the right answer. So let's take a look at the fixture predictions, who's going to blank, who's going to double, and why I think you should use certain chips in certain game weeks. So obviously the mastermind Ben Krellin has predicted the double game weeks and the blank game weeks. Some are already confirmed, for example, game week 29 and game week 32. And some of them are, possible, like double game week 33, blank game week 34, plus potentially a double in game week 35, game week 36, and maybe a blank in game week 37. But those three from game week 35 to 37, we're not going to be thinking about too much right now because they are much, much harder to predict. So blank game week 29 and double game week 32 confirmed. That is useful information, guys. Double game week 33 will likely be the same size as double game week 32 with two teams doubling. Most likely Man City and Aston Villa, but it's not confirmed. It truly depends on who gets to the FA Cup semi-finals. It also depends on how the Premier League teams do in Europe, because that will determine where the fixture gets moved to. So there's a lot of things to consider and a lot of things that could still happen. So nothing is set in stone. But what we can say is double game week 33 is a likely small double game week, and blank game week 34 is probably going to be a medium-sized blank game week, probably similar to the size of blank game week 29. And basically every transfer you have from now up until the later game weeks of the season where you want to use your chips, your transfers are going to need to be used to help your future chip strategy. So it's really useful to know which strategy you want to use for your team going forward. This game week you need to decide, or you're going to give yourself a disadvantage over everybody else who already knows what they're doing. And after looking at this fixture schedule, as someone who's always been an advocate for free hit in game week 29, after seeing this, I'm deciding to switch lanes. I don't think you can have a good chip strategy if you use your free hit in game week 29. I think the best thing to do is go into game week 29, and even if you have to take a -8 or a -12, try to field a team as best you can, because you're going to want your free hit saved for future game weeks. And I'm going to tell you guys why I think this is the case. So in this chip strategy, you don't use your free hit in game week 29, you save it. And my team could really do with a free hit, but I'm going to take a -4, possibly a -8, just to get my team through it so I can make the most out of my chip strategy. I think you guys should be using your first chip in game week 31, which is the wild card chip, your second wild card. Hopefully you have one of these left. If you don't, then it kind of sucks to be you. I'm going to be honest, that chip is like so damn crucial. It's going to be hard to get through these game weeks without it. I think you should use this wild card to prepare for double game week 32 and double game week 33, because if you don't, it's going to be very hard to maximize your points in game week 32 and game week 33. Like every single player you bring in, you're going to want to use to get as many doublers as possible. Following using your wild card, guys, you want to use bench boost in either game week 32 or game week 33. It's not 100% clear yet which one is going to be the best, but it's probably going to be game week 32, because then in game week 33, if you have your triple captain left, you can use it on Haaland. If you're one of those guys out there who still has assistant manager left, I'm not ignoring you. I know I've not put it on the graphic here, but you're going to want to be using it after game week 34, trying to take advantage of the potential doubles in game week 35 and game week 36 that could happen. And even if there is no double game week there, it's still your best bet, because if you try and use it before then, you're just going to disrupt this chip strategy, which I believe is the best in the game. If you don't have triple captain or assistant manager, it doesn't matter too much either. They are not essential for this chip strategy. They are just extra points available for you to pick up. So as long as you have your second wildcard, your free hit and your bench boost, this is going to work for you perfectly. Anyway, back on topic, bench boost will be used in game week 32 or game week 33. Then if you have triple captain, you can use that in the game week you don't use bench boost. This is going to be your big scoring game week. This is going to be the big daddy that gets you the biggest green arrow possible. Then you will go into blank game week 34, most likely with loads and loads of players blanking, because you've just bought loads of players that are going to double. Those are the same guys that blank, which is where your free hit clutches up, because you saved it and didn't use it in game week 29. You can get through blank game week 34 so easily by saving it. And after game week 34, all your chips are going to be used up unless you have the assistant manager left. Hopefully there's a double for you guys in game week 35 or game week 36 that you can take advantage of with that chip. But if not, it doesn't matter too much, because assistant manager is very powerful. If you can pick up some table bonus points, it doesn't matter that you're missing out on a double game week. If you are wondering who to buy, guys, I recommend checking out the players to buy video I just made earlier this week. I think it will give you some useful tips on who to buy. I'm going to be buying a new forward this week. So if you're interested in new forwards, make sure you just stick around for this one, because, I know most of you are going to need a new forward. Me personally, I was going to keep Mateta. I was going to keep him in my team, but Now I'm changing ship strategy and I'm not using my free hit in game week 29. I've got to get him gone. I need someone more useful and more available for my team. Even if it means selling my favourite FPL player this season. It pains me to sell him, guys. I really wanted to keep him, but ultimately I see no other way out. There's not a lot to choose from, but these three here I think are the three best potential options in Wissa, Marmoush, if that's how you say his name, and Chris Wood. I don't like putting Chris Wood here because Chris Wood has not been kind to me this FPL season, but we cannot deny the consistency, the decent fixture run that's about to happen, and the underlying data. But first, we'll talk about Wissa. Wissa has slightly better underlying data than Chris Wood, slightly more on the expected goals. The problem is Wissa's fixtures are not that easy. And when we look at fixtures for players we want to bring in, we only care about the next 3 game weeks, guys. We don't care about the next 6. Half of these are irrelevant because we're going to be using the wildcard in game week 31. Wissa is not a player I want to bring in because I believe fixtures encourage good form and they can also cause bad form if they're quite tough, which is the case for Wissa. The second best option, I think, is the Man City forward Marmoush. If that's how you say his name again, guys, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not offending anyone. He would be the best option to go for if he wasn't playing away to Forest next game week. Playing away to Forest is not easy. The 2 games that follow, home to Brighton and home to Leicester, are really, really good. And I think you can bring him in next game week. If you're bringing in a new forward this game week, Chris Wood is the guy to go for. And it pains me to say it. I don't really like him that much because he's caused me so many red arrows. But he is the forward I'm going to be bringing in for Jean-Philippe Mateta. So yeah, it's going to be a sad day for FPL bodders. Selling Mateta, my favourite FPL player this season, along with Isak. It hurts, guys. It hurts the heart. It hurts the soul. And it's not going to be easy to do, but it has to be done. It's one of those things. So let's go take a look at my team and how I'm going to prepare for the chip strategy coming forward. In defence, we are doubled up on Arsenal against a very off-form Manchester United team, which I am very excited for. Despite being a Manchester United fan, I am low-key going to be rooting for the Arsenal defence. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll take a Man United win over my FPL doing well, but if Man United lose 2-1, so the Arsenal clean sheet is wiped out and my team still loses, that's like worst case scenario. So hopefully Gabriel and Raya can get me some points. Then we have Trent home to Southampton. I know Liverpool play PSG in the midweek before game week 28 and after game week 28, which is quite a worry if you ask me, guys. I'm not looking forward to that stress. I mean, I don't know if Trent is actually going to get the right minutes. I don't know if he's going to start. Then we finish off the defence with Kirkes playing away to Tottenham, which on paper isn't that easy of a fixture, but Tottenham are far from good at the moment, and the Bournemouth defence has been pretty solid most of the season, so I could see some points there, but honestly, not too hopeful for it. Going into midfield, we have Salah captain, guys. Let's not all be silly and go for Palmer captain again. I don't know if any of you did it, but I did it, and I regretted it. Even though Palmer definitely deserved more points than Salah, he's still got less, and I'm not willing to bet on him again after seeing that last performance. So Salah takes the captain's armband and Palmer is just going to sit there, only slightly helping my rank because of how high his ownership is. We then have Ismail Sarr, who is probably the coolest guy on the planet, blanking for 8 game weeks, but then rewarding my patience by scoring 15 points in 1 game. I'd love to say I was happy and, celebrating that 15-pointer, but when you knew it was going to come, when you could just predict it, when you knew what was going to happen, it's hard to celebrate. Like next game week against Ipswich, when he gets double digits again, I'm going to be happy, but I'm not going to be surprised because I just know what's up. I know what's happening. Then Kluivert, best Bournemouth midfielder in my opinion, on penalties. I don't expect massive hauls from him like he was getting in the past. He is only 6 million, so he's going to haul like a 6 million player would. 1 goal involvement this game week, that'll do me nicely. If he wants to get any more though, I'm not going to be opposed to it, get me as many points as you like. In the front 3, we are tripled up on Liverpool, which is even more of a minute's risk than Trent with Gakpo. Gakpo is the first choice attacker aside from Salah in this Liverpool team, which on paper is a good thing, but I think Arne Slot may prefer to prioritise the PSG game over the Southampton game, which is my biggest worry. At the same time, I simply cannot bring myself to sell Gakpo ahead of Southampton at home because even if he only plays 30 minutes, he could still get a goal involvement. That's how bad Southampton are. Then we got new signing Chris Wood. Playing home to Man City is not as hard as it used to be. I mean, it would be FPL heritage for Chris Wood to blank 3 game weeks in a row as soon as I bring him in after he's been killing my rank non-stop every week. So let's hope that doesn't happen. That will make me hate Chris Wood even more. As if I don't like him enough already, I will dislike him even more than I already do if he decides to blank and blank and blank as soon as I bring him in my team. So Chris Wood, you better play well for me. or I'm going to be very unhappy with you. And we finish off this team with another absolute legend who's helped my FPL out a ton this season. We've got Isak finishing off the front three. Guys, we're currently 114k overall. We've not been on the, best form recently in terms of game weeks. We've been getting more red arrows than green arrows. And my goal for this season is to still finish in the top 50k, hopefully higher. It all depends how my chip strategies do and how well I perform. I'm confident going into this game week as long as Gakpo and Trent get minutes, but we don't know how likely that is. So if they play, I'm confident for a green arrow. We just need to hope players like Mbumo blank. He's going to be the main threat to my rank. Anyway, guys, if you did make it this far, thank you very much for watching. You are greatly appreciated. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, and I will see you all in the next one.